Hello, Bloomington. I'm Mayor Tim Busse, and this is the Council Minute for the week of September 25th. Our meeting on Monday included the presentation of the colors by the Bloomington Police Color Guard, the swearing in of new Bloomington police officers, the introduction of employees who recently started with the city, and a number of informational items. But for me, the coolest part was the first hour of the meeting, when the council had the opportunity to accept and acknowledge not one, not two, but 3 exceptional gifts to the city from individuals and community groups. The first was a beautiful opal stone sculpture created by Zimbabwe artist Andrew Kandamiri. The sculpture, which is titled Family, was donated with gratitude to the Bloomington Police Department by Rex and Julie Mirapiri, owners of Mirapiri Gallery. Mirapiri Gallery has been an impossible to miss landmark in Bloomington at 90th and Penn for a long time. And Rex said that he thought the sculpture was a good choice for the Bloomington Police Department because of his appreciation for their work and in recognition of the work BPD has done over the years, keeping his family and all of Bloomington safe. The second donation was a gift of $25,000 given to the city of Bloomington by the Bloomington Lions Club. The Lions Club has been an institution here in Bloomington since 1951, and they have been living their motto of "We serve" through a variety of projects, for example, in support of the Artistry Theater folks, Bridging, Cornerstone, Meals on Wheels, and many others. This generous $25,000 gift will go specifically toward the cost of a shade structure at the newly reconstructed tennis and pickleball courts at Dred Scott. And the final gift, or gifts, the council recognized, literally filled 5 pages of the council packet. More than 160 Bloomington residents and groups made donations ranging from $5 to $10,000 in support of Summerfest, Bloomington's annual celebration that's held every year on July 3rd. I am just so grateful to the Mirapiris, the Bloomington Lions, and to the Summerfest supporters. Their generosity is a great example of how we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Thank you. It's that spirit of generosity and kindness and humanity that make Bloomington a better place. We also heard a report on Monday on the results of the City of Bloomington's annual community survey. Conducted every year since 2012, this year's random sample survey took place between April 27th and June 8th. The survey was a combination of mail and online surveys, which was completed by 709 households. The poll is statistically significant, meaning there is a 95% confidence level with a margin of error of plus or minus 4. The survey, which is conducted by the National Research Center in Polk, asked 145 questions that can be categorized into 10 different facets of community livability. Things like the economy, safety, parks and recreation, and inclusivity and engagement. We've been doing this for more than a decade now in Bloomington, which allows us to make some comparisons year over year. This year, among those 145 questions, 18 received significantly higher ratings, 9 received lower ratings, and 118 of the ratings generally remained the same. The topics with significantly higher ratings include crime prevention, public information services, code enforcement, availability of preventative health services, and a sense of civic and community pride. Topics with lower ratings including residents' connection and engagement with their community, ease of walking, street repair, and air quality. One response that remained consistent? Again this year, 88% of respondents said that Bloomington is an excellent or good place to live. I couldn't agree more. A couple of key findings of note. Residents feel a strong sense of safety in Bloomington, with 76% of respondents saying that they feel safe in the community at large, and 94% stating that they feel safe in their neighborhoods. Our police and fire departments received high marks, and as I mentioned, satisfaction in crime prevention efforts increased pretty significantly. A second key finding is that Bloomington's economy continues to be a strong community feature. Responses about Bloomington as a place to work, employment opportunities, and the overall economic health of the city were very favorable. A third key finding is that residents value the city's utility infrastructure. Everybody loves the water in Bloomington. 92% say the drinking water is excellent or good. And a final key finding is that residents appreciate Bloomington's health and wellness opportunities. That includes things like the availability of good, affordable health care and our parks and recreation. The overall quality of our parks, our paths and trails, and the recreational opportunities in the city were all given high marks by residents. The entire survey and the complete results are available on the city's website. I'd encourage you to take a look if you're interested. 2 points that staff will be discussing with the folks at the National Research Center, the group that does the work for us. The first is the response rate. The response rate for the 4,500 surveys that were sent out was at 16%. Now, that still makes the survey statistically valid, but it's a much lower response rate than what we saw just a few years ago. The council agreed we'd like to see that response rate back up in the 30 to 40% range in the future. We also asked staff to have the conversation with the National Research Center folks regarding the demographic breakdown of the survey respondents. We need to ensure that the respondents fully and accurately reflect Bloomington. Now it's time to answer your questions about Bloomington Forward, the long-term investment plan that, if approved by voters, would support 3 major community projects for better health, wellness, athletics, recreation, and improved natural areas. Specifically, 3 questions on this fall's ballot will ask voters about building a new community health and wellness center, renovating the Bloomington Ice Garden, and enhancing and protecting the 9 Mile Creek Corridor and Moyer and Central Parks. Bloomington voters will consider a 0.5% local option sales tax to finance $155 million in bonds to pay for these projects as part of a citywide referendum. If approved, about 65% of the local sales tax revenue would come from non-residents. This week's questions are about the 9 Mile Creek Corridor. The first one asks, why is the 9 Mile Creek Corridor on the list for improvements? Occupying 240 acres, Moyer and Central Parks in the 9 Mile Creek Corridor features trails and many outdoor amenities that residents enjoy. Invasive species, such as buckthorn and garlic mustard, are taking a toll on this Bloomington jewel. Riverbank erosion and the loss of woodlands and wetlands also threaten the corridor's long-term future. To ensure that Moyer and Central Parks and the 9 Mile Creek Corridor continue to connect residents to nature and outdoor activities, the city is seeking to restore eroded riverbanks, enhance and protect natural habitat, add new amenities to the park, and build new bridges and trails. The overall goal is to improve and restore critical natural resources in the corridor. Next up, why aren't there more details about the 9 Mile Creek Corridor project? The 9 Mile Creek Corridor project is the newest among the 3 proposals on the ballot. The initiative has great potential to protect and preserve the watershed, but we know there are many details that must be determined before project work can begin. We're ready to work with the community during this process, but we need to secure the funding before we can invest the time and the resources to build out the long-term plan. And finally, are you going to allow bikes on the trails at 9 Mile Creek? We know we want to improve the trails along the corridor. We also know we want to provide greater access for everyone. Will we explore whether it makes sense to include bikes? Yes, we said we would. But we will do so only through a transparent process that will involve the community and, of course, guidance from experts. To be clear, no decisions have been made, no plans have been drawn. I'll be answering a couple of questions each week leading up to Election Day. So be sure to tune in next time for more answers to your frequently asked questions. In the meantime, there is much more information on the website bloomingtonforward.org. That will do it for this week's Council Minute. Thanks much for joining me today. Until next time, stay safe, Bloomington.